This is real gang for life. 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 Till death do us, or till the judge screw us. No other options, no Frank Lucas.
Guys, what is up? Welcome to another episode of Maximilian Must Know. Today we're taking a look at a fragrance called Nantucket from the house of Cherche Midi. This is not the first video that I've done on this house. I did an overview on the house when Decant Shop sent me a bunch of samples. It was a very early version of the Scent Safari videos that I do, or sorry, yeah, Scent Safari videos that I do. I was about to say sample shopping. It was a combination, sort of. And then I really enjoyed what I smelled. So they were in this deal for a while where they were selling a set of 3 of their most popular fragrances, and I purchased it. So I have 3 of their scents. I reviewed Eau Hiver, which is a really beautiful grapefruit fragrance. Still the best thing that I've smelled from this house. Probably my favorite grapefruit fragrance of all time. So I have that one. I have this one, which we're going to get to today, and I have Cashmere Noir, which I'll do down the road. Now, they have rebranded themselves as Fragrance Design Studio, and their website is down. And even though they kind of have a Florida website, or someone that sells their fragrances in Florida, I think it's pretty safe to say that they're now a defunct fragrance house. I think if you want these, you have to get them by eBay or this website, which I will link to, that sells a couple of the fragrances. I can't find them retail any longer. If you do want some backstory on the house, do check the video out that I did on the brand. But let's get into this one. So as I said, looks like a website in Florida sells these. You can get this one in a set of 3. So I don't know, like the set of 3 I think is $155, which isn't a bad deal. You can get the other 2 by themselves, Eau Hiver and Cashmere Noir, which are for $40, which is a pretty good deal. So basically, if you get this, you have to buy 3 of them for $155, and the other 2 you can get individuals of for $40, or you could buy 3 of those as well. You can check it out. I'll leave the link in the description. Now, why I think that's a pretty big ripoff is because I paid $55 for the set of 3 of these fragrances. This was a 2013 release from perfumer Cecilia Hua, and she has done plenty of work for Amarud, Charenton Macerations, etc. The notes on this include lavender, bergamot, oak moss, mint, freesia, sand, driftwood, amber, and musk. In your bottle, first let me just, I think these are eau de parfum. See, they don't really say. They just say in the bottom, fragrance spray. They're all numbered as well. This one is number 1. Nantucket's number 1. So they don't really say their concentration. They have a little, I think they're called fleur-de-lis sort of thing on the front. If you bought these individually and not in the 3, the trio, they all had wood caps. So the presentation's a little nicer when they come by themselves. And you have a pretty nice sprayer on this, but it's a really sort of minimalist presentation. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's really just a glass bottle and a clear plastic cap. That's really it, as you can tell. Nothing wrong with it when you line the 3 of them up together. They look cool, sort of cool, but very basic presentation. But as far as the scent goes, man, I think they crushed this. There are so many ways as a perfumer you can come at an aquatic or an ocean or beach fragrance. You can go with cologne. You can go with bergamot. You can go with a lot of salt. You can go with seaweed. You can go with tropical fruits. I really think it's awesome here how they went with lavender. And that's what this is. This is a lavender scent first and foremost, but just really done in a way that gets across the intent that, hey, at its heart, this is a beach scent. And they accomplish that by blending the lavender, which is a watery lavender, with a very cool, refreshing mint, crisp bergamot, and some salty woods. And the salty woods is a trick that's pretty cool. Salty wood accord on its own might just seem a little bit weird, but when you combine that with lavender and mint, it really does give the impression of water, ocean water. And this whole thing just works. You know, there's a little bit of a floral, tinge to the scent with the white freesia. There's more of a stout base here than might be expected, with some sweet oak moss and amber. Just really original, really well balanced, and just a different take on a genre that sort of needs fresh ideas and takes on the theme. Now, why this one is brilliant and really sits well with me is because if you listen to the notes I talked about, lavender, bergamot, oak moss, this also has some very evident barbershop qualities. You know, this is described as an aromatic aquatic, and I think that's right on the money. It's almost a tasteful barbershop ocean fragrance. I think that's awesome. It should be right up the alley of plenty of the folks who watch my videos. As far as performance goes, it's a really good performer, about as good of a fragrance of the genre as you're going to get. I get 10 to 12 hours with this, with a good 8 hours or so of projection. So it's definitely ticking all the boxes there. It is without a doubt a unisex scent. It is maybe slightly better suited to a man because of the barbershop qualities that I mentioned. But you can make the argument that it will be fine with either sex, and I think that's totally true. And ideally, this is a spring or a summer scent. Might be a little too much for the absolute heat, which is crazy because it's an aquatic scent. But I think this is really best suited for cooler summer evenings. If you're ever on a beach, you know, in a cool summer evening, I think this will be great. Great for the office during the spring and summer. Just a great casual scent for spring and summer. Not for the hottest days when it's scorching, but warm days and casual evenings. I think this is just great. Not a ton of comparisons I can make towards this one since you can't get it. This is a beach-themed scent that uses lavender to get there. Now, there's a fragrance called Sea Foam by Art de Parfum, which really does rely on aromatics to get the aquatic feel, but this is more lavender forward. I know that Cool Water has lavender, but this is lacking the huge whack of dihydromercenol that has. This is way more natural. I think the closest thing I compare to this is a Montal fragrance, believe it or not, called Fougere Marines, but that's way more synthetic. This is maybe best in the style of Albatross by House of Matriarch, but that's probably a more natural, better made fragrance. It's just really unique, so I can't draw great comparisons. If someone were trying to talk you into purchasing this fragrance, I think they'd say that it's a unique aquatic ocean scent. Very different take on the genre. That is now hard to acquire. I think if someone were trying to talk you out of this, they'd say, hey, it's hard to acquire. Is it worth it to you? It might be hokey to some people, perhaps. It might not be for everybody, and it's definitely going to have its time and place. This isn't, I don't think it's, I guess it could be a signature scent, but I think you really want to make sure you want to use it in that way before you purchase it. I'm still going to go ahead and give this an 8 out of 10. It's just a solid, well-done scent. Creative way to be expressive in a crowded, stale, and boring genre. They did a really good job with this, and those who especially like lavender scents should check this one out. I'm very disappointed that Cherche Midi sort of just packed up and left the game after they rebranded. I think that they were doing some really wonderful things. Their fragrances were unique. They were not at all focused on marketing and sort of catchy ads and stuff like that. They were really just about making good perfumes at a decent price, and I think it's a shame that they're not in the market anymore. But this one is definitely worth checking out if you already have it, and in some cases worth hunting down. Let me know what you think of this. If you've tried this, I'd love to know your thoughts. If you haven't, is this something you'd like to try to find? Does this sound good? Lavender and a sort of aquatic scent. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. And I'll see you guys again soon with more videos.
I love all my women. I call them the king's daughters. This is re-up gang for life. 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 This is re-up gang for life.